Listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to say is not an accident. There is someone watching this right now, and you know deep in your spirit that this message found you on purpose. You didn't click this by luck. You didn't scroll here by coincidence. You were led here because heaven has sent you a warning and a promise. There have been whispers behind your back, and you felt them even when you couldn't prove it. There has been silent jealousy, and you saw it in their eyes before you ever heard it with your ears. There were people who called you family, who called you friend, who called you brother or sister. Yet they smiled in your face while secretly hoping you would fail. You supported people who would have celebrated your breakdown. You loved people who would have laughed at your pain. You trusted people who would have betrayed you for attention. And lately, you've been asking yourself, why does it feel like I'm surrounded by energy that doesn't want me to win? Why do I sense something moving in the dark against me? Why do I feel watched, judged, or targeted for no reason? But here's the twist. What they thought was your ending, God is about to use as your announcement. The same people who whispered behind your back are about to watch God elevate you in front of their eyes. There is a divine exposure coming, and nothing they built in secret will survive the light that God is about to release. This is not just a message. This is a spiritual alert. You are entering a season where masks will fall off, true motives will rise to the surface, conversations you never heard will be revealed without you searching for them. People who plotted your downfall will suddenly begin to expose themselves. Because when God says your breakthrough season has begun, every enemy that tried to block it is forced into the open. And listen, you don't need to fight them. You don't need to defend your name. You don't need to argue or prove anything. When God exposes, He does not expose to humiliate you. He exposes to protect you. He exposes to separate you from sabotage. He exposes to clear the path for your elevation. Some people were connected to you for what they could take, not what they could build. Some smiled at your blessing while secretly praying that you would lose everything. Some hugged you while handing information about you to your enemies. And heaven says, enough. They tried to bury you. They tried to block you. They tried to break what God placed inside you, but they forgot one thing. You were a seed. And when you bury a seed, it doesn't disappear. It grows. So stay until the end of this message, because I'm going to pray and activate a supernatural covering over your life, a covering that protects your name, your mind, your assignment, your finances, your relationships, and your destiny. If you have felt spiritual pressure, if you have felt watched, if you have felt betrayed or misunderstood, then this word is not just for you. This word is about you. Now, before I go deeper, I want you to declare something out loud and type it in the comments so it becomes a witness in the spirit. Comment below. God is exposing every hidden enemy in my life. Write it, speak it, claim it, because that sentence is not just a comment, it is a prophetic announcement over your destiny. Your breakthrough season has officially begun. There are battles you never told anybody about. Silent storms inside your mind that you carried without making a sound. You smiled on the outside while your heart was being pushed to its limits. You kept showing up for people who wouldn't have noticed if you disappeared. Because deep down, you knew this wasn't just life happening. This was spiritual warfare. You felt attacks you couldn't prove, but you knew they were real. You sensed the shift in a person's energy, even when they pretended nothing changed. You saw the look in someone's eyes and thought, why did their spirit turn against me? What did I do except exist? People switched on you for no reason, and it didn't make sense. One day they were cheering for you, clapping for you, calling you family, and the next day they acted like you were the enemy. You didn't understand it then, but you're about to understand it now. Some people didn't change because of something you did. They changed because of who you are. Your spirit exposed what their intentions tried to hide. Your name was being thrown in rooms you never entered. Somebody spoke about you in a conversation you never attended. Someone tried to redefine your character in places you weren't even present to defend yourself. And still, you remained silent. Not because you were weak, but because you were chosen. You knew God fights battles better than you ever could, and listen closely. Some of the most dangerous enemies are not the ones who attack you publicly, but the ones who pretend to support you while secretly resenting you. They liked your posts but hated your progress. They smiled when you walked into the room, but their spirit grew uncomfortable because you carry something they didn't understand. They told you, "I'm so happy for you," yet whispered, "Why them and not me?" behind closed doors. You know exactly who God is revealing to you right now. But here's the twist. They didn't know that God heard the conversations you never knew about. They didn't know heaven was in the room when they spoke your name with disrespect. They didn't know the angels were recording every detail, every lie, every intention, every plot. They thought they were getting away with it. They thought you were unprotected, uncovered, alone. But God said, "Touch not my anointed." You were never fighting that battle alone. While you were sleeping, heaven was awake. While you were crying, heaven was planning. While you felt surrounded, heaven was surrounding what surrounded you. You didn't lose because the attack wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal who was never for you. You didn't break because God used the betrayal to build you. Some connections had to fail because your destiny could not be built with disloyal hands. Some people had to walk away because they were not assigned to the next chapter. Some doors had to close because they were entry points for spiritual attacks. And now heaven is making a declaration over your life. No hidden enemy will succeed. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No lie spoken against you will stand. This is not the season where you defend your name. This is the season where God defends your name. So before we move to the next chapter of this message, I want you to speak this out loud and write it in the comments so it becomes a public declaration in the Spirit. Comment, "God saw it all." Say it with confidence. Say it with authority. Say it knowing that every tear, every attack, every betrayal, every moment you stayed silent instead of fighting back, heaven saw it all, and now God is about to respond. This battle is shifting because your breakthrough is closer than it has ever been. There comes a moment in every chosen person's life when God says, "Enough, the mask must fall." You are walking into a season where motives will not be able to hide behind smiles anymore, where people's energy will tell the truth before their words ever do, where God begins to pull back the curtain and show you exactly who has been standing with you and who has been standing against you. For some, it will start with a sudden distance from certain people. No argument, no explanation. They just pull away. You might wonder, did I do something wrong? Why did the communication shift so fast? But listen, that wasn't rejection, that was protection. God heard conversations you never heard. God saw intentions you didn't see. God removed people who would have sabotaged your next level. Another sign, the truth begins to come out accidentally. Someone slips up and says something they didn't mean to reveal. A random comment exposes a hidden agenda. A moment of anger uncovers what was sitting in their heart the entire time. Then there are the screenshots, the messages, the confessions that reveal everything. A person you least expect comes forward and says, "You need to know what was said about you. You need to see this, not to gossip, but to free you from what was draining you without your knowledge." And perhaps the most important sign of all, you feel a deep spiritual discomfort around someone. You can't explain it. Nothing looks wrong on the surface, but your spirit says, something is off. Pay attention. Their words don't match their energy. Never ignore that feeling. That is discernment, not paranoia. Because when God is exposing, He is not exposing to embarrass you. He is exposing to protect you. You prayed for elevation, but elevation requires separation. You asked God to bless you, but blessings can't grow in deceptive soil. You ask God for peace, but peace cannot survive around people who carry chaotic intentions. So instead of asking, "God, why did they walk away?" start declaring, "God, thank you for removing what I didn't see coming." Because what leaves your life in this season is not a loss. It is a cleansing. So right now, before we go further, I want you to put this in the comments and speak it from your spirit. Comment, "God, remove every fake connection." Type it, say it, declare it. Because as you speak it, heaven is responding. This is not the time to cling to what God is cutting off. This is the season where God reveals hearts and protects your destiny. There is a moment in the life of every chosen one when heaven says, "No more. Justice begins now." You are stepping into a season of divine reversal, a moment where everything that was used against you is about to work for you because the lies they spread are about to flip, and the people who tried to destroy your name are about to watch God promote you without their permission. Somebody thought they could bury you in rumors. Somebody believed they could destroy your credibility. Someone tried to make others question who you are because they were threatened by what God placed inside you. But listen very carefully. The tongue that tried to destroy you is about to testify for you. The very voice that tried to ruin your reputation is going to be the one God uses to confirm your assignment. The same mouths that said, "You'll never make it," will soon say, "I always knew there was something special about them." God is a God who turns accusations into announcements. They set traps for you. Traps of jealousy, manipulation, gossip, doubt, and discredit. They expected you to fall. They expected you to fail. They expected you to lose everything. But here's the twist. The trap they set is about to become their lesson. The pit they dug is about to become their reminder that you are not protected by people, you are protected by purpose. What they meant for evil, God is turning into a divine appointment that pushes you forward instead of holding you back. You are entering a season where the tables turn, the truth speaks louder than the lies. The stone they threw becomes the proof of your calling. Those who stood against you will witness your elevation, because God isn't just exposing your enemies. God is about to elevate you in front of them. They tried to block the door, but God is about to open a bigger one. They tried to turn people against you, but God is about to send destiny partners in divine connections who will support your calling. They tried to make you small, but God is about to make your name echo in rooms they will never enter. This is your reversal season, a season where your tears become testimony and your warfare becomes evidence that you were chosen for something they could never stop. So right now, before we go any further, I want you to speak this with authority and write it in the comments so it becomes established in the spirit. Comment, "God is turning it in my favor." Declare it, type it, own it. Because that sentence is not just words, it is a legal decree in the courts of heaven. You are not walking into victory. You are walking into vindication. You prayed for it. You cried for it. You survived spiritual warfare for it. And now, you are stepping into the evidence that your breakthrough season has officially begun. Breakthrough doesn't always start with applause. Sometimes it begins quietly, almost unnoticed, like a shift in the atmosphere around your life. And before the blessing becomes visible, it becomes spiritual. Here are 7 signs that heaven has already set things in motion for you. 1. Unexpected peace. There were nights you couldn't sleep. Your mind was loud, your heart was heavy. But suddenly, there is peace that makes no sense. Storms didn't stop, but they lost their power. 2. New opportunities appearing. Conversations shift, phone calls return. Doors open that you didn't knock on. People start saying phrases like, "I've been thinking about you. I have an idea for you." This is not random. This is divine alignment. 3. People who left. Try to re-enter. Those who once ignored you suddenly remember your value. They come back with, "Hey stranger, we should talk." Be wise. Not all returns are reconciliation. Some are tests. Resources show up out of nowhere. Money you forgot about. Approvals you didn't expect. Help you didn't ask for. A miracle disguised as, "I can help you with that." 5. Random blessings, discounts, gifts, favor. Things that used to be difficult become effortless. The struggle loses its voice. 6. Your name mentioned in good places. People you've never met speak well of you. Your name travels into rooms your feet haven't stepped in yet. Heaven begins the announcement before man sees the manifestation. 7. You feel stronger, not bitter. You look back at everything that tried to break you and realize, I didn't just survive it, I grew from it. Your spirit is maturing. Your sensitivity to God's voice is increasing. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. But here's the twist. Heaven is not asking you to fight back. Heaven is asking you to stand still. Because when God is fighting for you, silence becomes a weapon and peace becomes proof that the battle is no longer yours. This is not the time to chase explanations. This is not the time to argue with people who lost access to you. This is the time to stand, watch, and witness the breakthrough unfold. So before we go any further, I want you to declare this in the comments. Not as a sentence, but as a spiritual announcement. Comment, "My breakthrough season has begun." Type it with authority, say it with faith, because the more you declare it, the faster heaven will establish it. Your breakthrough is not coming. It has started. If you are listening to this right now, it is not by accident. You have been surrounded, targeted, and spiritually monitored, and yet you are still standing. Why? Because no matter what they tried, it did not work. They tried rumors, and it failed. They spoke your name in circles you never walked into, hoping to stain your character and interrupt your destiny. But every lie they threw only became a platform for God's truth to rise. They tried spiritual warfare, and it backfired. They whispered things in the dark, not knowing heaven was listening. They tried to attack your purpose, your mind, your peace, your relationships. But God stepped in and said, "Touch not my anointed." They tried to replace you, and it collapsed. They tried to copy your calling, imitate your anointing, duplicate your assignment. But what is God-given cannot be stolen, copied, or transferred. Because what you carry is not a position, it is a purpose. What you carry is not a talent, it is a mantle. What you carry is not popularity, it is divine selection. There were moments you felt surrounded, moments you felt like the attacks were coming from every direction. Moments when you said to yourself, "God, why does it feel like I'm in a battle I never asked for? Why does it seem like I'm being targeted for just being who you called me to be?" But listen, you were not surrounded by enemies. You were surrounded by God's protection. They saw your life, but they did not see your covering. They saw your progress, but they did not see your angels. They saw your steps, but they did not see the warriors. Heaven assigned to walk with you. Other people may not understand it, but you are stepping into a season where being chosen is your defense. You won't have to argue. You won't have to explain. You won't have to expose anyone. God is about to make your protection undeniable. Because when God places his hedge around you, when heaven declares you guarded, when the blood of Jesus covers your life, there is not a demon in hell, not a hater on earth, not a plot, not a rumor, not a spell, not a strategy that can remove you from what God has ordained. So before we move to the final chapter, I want you to declare something with authority, not quietly, not timidly, but from your spirit. Comment, "No weapon formed against me will prosper." Write it, say it, establish it. Because when you declare it, heaven enforces it. You are divinely protected. Your mind is protected. Your purpose is protected. Your name is protected. Your future is protected. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Not now, not ever. Before we pray, I want you to take a deep breath, because what we are about to speak is not just prayer, it is a spiritual activation. This is where everything that was spoken over your life in this message becomes established in the Spirit. Right now, wherever you are watching from, your room, your car, your home, your office, prepare your spirit, because when heaven confirms a word, no enemy can cancel it. I want you to repeat this after me slowly, with authority, like you know God is rewriting your story as you speak. Prayer declarations, repeat aloud. I am chosen. God is exposing every hidden enemy. No plan against me will succeed. What was delayed is now released. My breakthrough season has begun. I am protected. I am rising. I am favored. Say it again, deeper this time, louder this time. I am chosen. God is exposing every hidden enemy. No plan against me will succeed. What was delayed is now released. My breakthrough season has begun. I am protected. I am rising. I am favored. Now place your hand over your heart and your other hand lifted up as a sign of surrender, and listen closely. Whisper ending, soft cinematic voice. They tried to bear your name, but God is about to announce it. This is the season of exposure. This is the season of elevation. This is the season of unstoppable breakthrough. You are stepping into rooms you were once denied. You are receiving opportunities you once prayed for. You are walking into blessings that were prepared with your name on them. They thought your silence meant defeat, but God was training your spirit. strengthening your discernment and preparing your crown. Every delay was divine protection. Every closed door was divine redirection. Every betrayal was divine separation. You are not entering your breakthrough. You are already in it. So before this message ends, I want you to seal it in the comments, not as a sentence, but as a spiritual decree. Final comment: I received my breakthrough season. Type it, claim it, declare it, because heaven responds to bold faith. Like this video if it spoke to your spirit. Share it with someone who needs this word. Subscribe for the next prophetic message. 3 signs God is preparing you for a 24-hour sudden breakthrough.